We're going to talk a little bit about layers in Illustrator. So if you've looked at the core exercise for Illustrator, or core exercise 1, you've seen this image before. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the layers palette. You can also go to Window, Layers, or hit F7. And so some things I want to point out to you is that there are some similarities to Photoshop when you're looking at layers, and some differences. In Photoshop, you're used to a layer containing only that single thing, right? So in here, you can notice I've got an image in the background that's locked and transparent. I've got the sky, got a little eye icon, just like in Photoshop, that I can toggle things on and off. So I can toggle things off one at a time, and my poem's actually on the top. Okay, so if I were to turn any one of these things on by itself, you can see that the sky is simply a single object, and if I were to open this layer, there is a single path object in that layer. If I were to look at the lake, same thing. However, if I were to look at the mountain layer and press this little caret, you can see that there are a number of different paths, and you can select all of the objects. First of all, you can select all of the objects on a layer by clicking this little target. You can select only a single object in any layer by selecting the target next to that object when you open up the caret. Layers can be rearranged just like they can in Photoshop, so I could actually put the sky on top if I wanted to. Go ahead and put that back down where it was. Turn my poem on. So just be aware that layers are very useful to you. It's a nice way to group objects that are on one sort of plane together, but also be aware that layers are built up of sort of mini layers within themselves. So any object that you put on that layer is going to be on another level as well. You can see that the poem area has 3 different layers, and these are all text objects, so they have a little bit different appearance because they have some editability. So I can actually double click into this text and make changes to it. So that we have layers and sub-layers. You can duplicate layers using this little menu that I just clicked on. You also have options to flatten artwork. So let's say I clicked on the mountain layer and hit on flatten artwork. What would that do? The hidden layers contain artwork. Do you wish to discard the hidden art? Yes. Okay, so what that's done is it's put everything in my file on one single layer. I'm going to go ahead and undo that. When you flatten a layer in Photoshop, it actually removes all layers. When you flatten your layers in Illustrator, it just takes everything and puts it on one single layer, but they're still individual objects that you can select. Here's something interesting. Paste remembers layers. So let's say I wanted to make a new document and I wanted to use a few of these things. Right now, if I were to select, just marquee select over mountains and the sky. Okay, you can see by these little indicators right here on to the right of the selection target. You can see these little indicators show you that you're selecting objects on both of those layers. So I'm just going to hit Command C. I'm going to go to File, make a new file. Okay, and hit Paste. Now you see when I paste that, what it's actually done is it's put all those objects on a single layer. So I'm going to hit Undo. Go back to my other window here, just to the tab, and check Paste Remembers Layers in the Options palette. Now, when I Command C copy and go to my new window and paste, you'll see that it puts in the layers from the previous file for me. It retains the name, the color of the objects on that layer, and the hierarchy that they were in. So that's something to keep in mind when you are using layers back and forth from different files. There may be times when you just want to keep the files all in one layer, or you may want to retain the layers that they came from. It's just a brief overview of the way layers works in Illustrator.